Yo, what's going on, guys?
Hello.
Today we're making our video games of 2023 tier list that we played personally. So this is all the games that we both played. Well, either one of us or both of us. And for most of these cases, it was either both of us, or for a few of these cases, both of us. Some of them were mine. A few were his.
My computer would explode if it ran many modern
Yeah,
games.
yeah. No, he's played Lethal Company and a few others on here. But yeah, anyway, let's get started with Super Mario Wonder. S S or A.
I like it when he turns into an elephant.
So S, because they do have the singing piranha plants.
The singing piranha plants go insanely hard.
You know, the game is just amazing. Like, I was so skeptical when they were releasing a new Mario game. I was like, oh no.
And then I saw elephant power up, and I thought this was a cash grab, but no.
No, then the game was actually amazing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that game is really good. There's like, there's not really an. The only reason I was gonna put it in A is because it's just a Mario game, but it is very like different from most modern Mario games. I think adding special power ups really helped. Like,
Yeah.
the
It
cap
was
and things.
also it was also fun because they just kept like the Wonder Flower just changed up the entire level every time.
Yeah, that's true. You could play level normally, or you could do Wonder Flower. So it's an amazing game. It's definitely S tier. Golem.
Is my favorite. That's gotta be my no. What do you mean? So
Golem. Okay, it's
in case you
crazy.
missed Golem,
I don't know how you
it's a
would.
walking simulator.
It is a walking simulator. Do you know what's even more crazy? It's not even the worst game on this list.
Yeah.
That's very sad. Golem is an F tier game. Oh my god. Golem sucked.
I think the worst part about it is they wanted $70 for it.
No, it was not 70, mind you. Actually,
It,
how much was it? I'm pretty sure it was
I'm pretty
60.
sure.
It was
No, I'm
60.
pretty sure it was
It was
70.
not 70. I'm telling you right now. It was not 70.
Oh, now no, they lowered it because believe it or not, like the three people that bought the
How
game
much was Golem on
were
release?
not happy.
How
Oh,
much
I
did
wonder why
Golem
it's
cost?
60% off.
It cost 15
Yeah.
mil to make? Okay. Do you know what else cost 15 mil to make? Oh, hold on. Do you know what else cost
What?
15 mil to make? The game
Probably
Hades.
like fighters.
Hades cost 15
Oh,
mil to make. Do you know what else cost 15 mil to make? Godzilla minus one cost 15 mil to make. And that is what we got for 15.9 mil. That's 900,000 more than both of those games. Not combined, but then both that
Okay,
game and that
listen.
movie.
Um, we could also have gotten more stuff in Block Shoot, so I'm
That's
pretty
true.
happy that it went to Golem and not anything
I'm
else.
gonna tell you right now, Golem is Golem is a game. Yeah, no, it's F tier. Street Fighter 6, I say A tier.
Yeah, it's a really fun game, but it's also just Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Aside for the thing of
There
power,
are,
it's not really
there are a
that
few
unique.
there are a few changes. Like they have the cool block thing and the cool strike thing. It's Street Fighter. I do like some of the new characters, and also I think what they did with Ken is really funny, making him lose his entire fortune because he put it all in crypto. That
Yeah,
was funny.
I love putting it all in crypto.
It's a Street Fighter game. It's a really well made Street Fighter game. It's not like awful, but I feel like I can't put a Street Fighter game in S, but I still do love it.
Unless it was really innovative, which it
Yeah,
wasn't really innovative.
yeah. Forspoken is D. It's actually I'm not putting it F because
Um,
there are games worse than Forspoken that
Yeah,
deserve
but
it.
listen, this would be an F, but then we look at what's already an F, and that bumps it up to a D.
Yeah, Forspoken's a really no, it's not really. It's pretty bad. That's the only way I can put it.
Okay,
It could be
yeah,
worse. At least Forspoken
it
looks
actually looks nice. It
for
looks like a pretty cool game.
until like the ending part, but that's because they ran out of budget. It looks nice until like the
Yeah,
ending. What didn't work was the combat, the story and comedy and stuff, and then yeah, this combat was abysmal. But I think what's holding it from being completely F tier it looked good. It didn't look awful until like the ending.
It
Except
looked good, and also,
except you
it was pretty cool to see an open world of it, just for this
yeah,
character to ignore all of it and have nothing be in the open world
yeah,
except dashing through it.
that's
But
true. They could if with some changes this could have been a C tier game or even a B tier game. I think if it had good combat and if the story was slightly stronger, it didn't even have to be major stronger. The only thing that was wrong with the story was her motivation for defeating the final villain. This girl who taught me crafting died. Oh no. If they made the motivation
yeah,
more
don't
realistic,
worry about the million that died before that.
yeah,
I don't care that. But the girl that taught me crafting, now that's some
yeah.
real
If they made the
good stuff.
if they made the motivation better, if they made the combat better, and if they didn't run out of budget by the end, I would say this could have been like an A, B, or B tier game, even with like the
I
awful
don't wouldn't put
dialogue.
A. I would.
I would
Well,
say B.
yeah, but
B.
it looks very nice. It could be
Yeah.
a B tier game if they just made the story a bit better and made the combat not
Yeah.
sprinting and holding click.
Also, if you didn't have to buy a new PC to play it.
Oh yeah, the specs to run that thing are wild.
Starfield D. In above Forspoken though, but D. Starfield. I played it. At first, I was having fun. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I actually really like this game. Then I got a few hours in it, and I'm like, I'm still in the tutorial. 10 hours of tutorial. 10. 10 whole hours for me to do tutorial. But what was even more abysmal was after that tutorial, the game became mid. And after like maybe 15, 20 hours, 15 hours in it, after 5 hours of that tutorial, Starfield sucked. I'm sorry. Even if you look on, and it's not like I have a amazing, awful opinion. Look on Steam right now and look at those reviews. Look at the positive ones
Yeah,
telling you to listen
I
to the
would put it
negative
D
ones.
tier. I'd put it C tier.
No, I have to put it D. You didn't
I'd put
play
it
it.
C tier.
You haven't played. If you played it, you would put it D tier.
I've watched an entire stream of it, so
Watching,
I know the
watching,
gameplay
watching
of
and playing it
boring
is different.
bad.
Yeah, and after a few hours, it's a D tier
Yeah.
game. If it wasn't for actually, no,
But if you're
Look,
a
look,
very
If
if you're
goal-
a person that would get enjoyment out of grinding, you're somebody who would like this game. But as somebody that values their time, it's not
yeah,
good.
you have to have no life to play Starfield. Okay, anyway, Hi-Fi Rush is a S tier game.
I really want to play it. I've
Oh
seen
my
it.
God.
It looks beautiful.
Hi-Fi Rush looks beautiful. The combat is unique. Not like the actual like there's other beat 'em ups, but having it all rhythm based is like amazing, like completely unique for the gameplay space, and it definitely deserves sound design for game of the year. Hi-Fi Rush was a beautiful game. I love the story. I like the whole thing. I think I think it was a funny story, but then a cool story. It's like a whole story about creativity and stuff. So I think Hi-Fi Rush deserves an S tier. Now we have another peak game. We don't have to debate this, right? At all.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has to debate this.
Anyone-
They really didn't have to do much, honestly. It's
Yeah.
more Breath of the Wild. They could have just released
Breath of the Wild.
but again,
Yeah, but with like new
and it would
story.
still probably be an S tier.
Yeah, they literally could have done
the
this.
fact that they,
The fact that they completely redid tons of stuff. They put actual like reasons to change the map. They like actual in-game reasons. The characters changed throughout the years. The fact that there's like the weapon system is kind of changed, having fused weapons and stuff. That's also another thing. Weapon system not even like a bit changed, like adding damage and durability. It completely changed.
Yeah, and
because like
now I really like with the fusion because
Yeah.
now you can fuse something really good on a weapon that you like, and not only does it
Yeah.
do a lot more damage, but it'll also last you for like an hour.
and
Which used to be Breath of the Wild. If you get like 2 battles out of a
Yeah.
weapon, it's
and also some of the it also works because some of the not weapons, like there were zonai objects worked well. You could put a fan on your shield and like glide, kind of a rocket would lift you up. You could put an octo balloon, that would also lift you up. You could fuse so many different options. I like how there were specific boss drops that you could put on a weapon, but you couldn't pick up to put on it later. You either had to choose it now or don't put it on.
yeah.
Phenomenal game, and the story was beautiful. Oh my god.
Can't say to the story. All I know about the story is that Ganon's mean, and there's a guy that.
The story was really really well, and it worked really well in the Zelda form.
Hold up his sign.
That is true. That guy's fire. Redfall. I played There's a reason. Redfall would not be on here unless it didn't get added to Game Pass. Cause oh my god, Redfall
It
was bad.
it was fire.
Redfall was. I played it. I played 4 hours. Hopped off. And I'm surprised I got through. Do you know what's the only reason I pushed through 4 hours? Because I thought maybe it can't be that. Well, that too. But I also thought maybe it couldn't be that bad. And then no, it really was. I gave it a chance and then
Yeah, the only reason
quit.
I put this above Golem is because it's a buggy mess, and because it's a buggy mess, it's
funny.
Sometimes
Yeah, it's
you'll see
funny.
you'll see like a vampire clip through the floor and spawn in the
Yeah.
ceiling and then jump scare you.
It's also.
If it wasn't for how bad it was,
Yeah.
it would be below Golem. Cause
Oh no! Not
boring.
only that. Not only that. At least it's better made than Golem.
Yeah.
But the story.
They had a vision. I just feel like they need to
Yeah.
flesh it out.
They really
a lot
did.
more.
Well, the problem was that the studio behind it didn't want to make it, but Ubisoft forced them
I
to.
wouldn't want to make Redfall either.
They're making a Blade game, but hopefully that will be good because they might actually want to make that. But anyway, Fire Emblem Engage. You only start play. I'll say it's a C tier game. I love Fire Emblem. I would put some of the Fire Emblem games in S, A, and B. This is probably one of the worst halves of Fire Emblem. I think what saves this game heavily is the combat is alright, and Luis, the character, because Luis is based.
And Piccolo.
And Piccolo. Oh yeah, there's a cat they can get, and I named my Piccolo, so we just call it Piccolo. No.
It's not really a cat.
It's
is
a
the
creature.
good part of this game.
I think
For how, if you haven't seen it, if you want to know how bad the dialogue is, I fell asleep during a conversation.
Yeah. Here's the one thing though. Some characters have good dialogue. Others don't. I think the characters that had the best dialogue were all the voice actors and stuff they brought back from previous games to reprise their roles.
And also, I think the ones with good dialogue, I'm very short into the game. On like chapter 7, I'm like what 50. But
no, it's only 23, 24. It's just that they add a bunch of extra scenarios, and
yeah. I'm not playing any of those.
Yeah. They unlock cool rules.
So I actually like Luis as a character, and this one other character. The issue is they never show up in another cutscene ever again. So
I will say
the characters that usually actually that I'm liking and their dialogue is semi-interesting are the ones that don't get screen time.
The thing with this game is they completely sideline all like the interactions with characters and stuff. What they want to focus on, I think they've heavily focused on the combat more. It wasn't the best combat. It wasn't the worst. The one problem was implementing like the reverse crystal. But this was also supposed to be a game for new people that haven't been brought into the series.
Yeah, which was also kind of dumb because if you're gonna make a game for new Fire Emblem fans, why have the entire gimmick be the old games?
Yeah. Well, I think that was to motivate them to play the old games. There were a few characters there were a good amount of characters that hate. You haven't met my most hated character yet, but you will, Ambrose. You will. Anyway, Mid Island. It's a D tier game. Actually, no. I'm gonna put C tier.
Lowest in C tier.
Yeah, I put lowest in C tier because I feel
because we had a lot of stinkers this year.
Yeah, we had a lot of stinkers this year, but I think the one big problem with Dead Island 2 is the combat is forest level combat. And I had someone that I knew try to cope and say that the Forest had good combat. It really doesn't. I think Dead Island 2 could have been so well if they changed a few things. First of all, combat. Combat should have definitely been changed. Something more like not Dead by wrong game Dead by Daylight. That's what I'm thinking of. Or no, am I thinking of the right game? No, Left 4 Dead. No, Left. Yeah, where you get chased. Yeah, that's the wrong one. What's the platform one?
The platforming? A platform what?
The platform zombie game. Platform zombie game. It's really known for. I've played it. I can just check my Steam actually. Why don't I do that? Yeah. I can just check it. I have it here. It's Dying Light. That's what it is. Yeah.
Dying Light. Oh yeah.
Dying Light. If they gave Dying Light combat. Second game, because first game the guns were abysmal. Yeah, but the combat was Second game combat. Um, and then maybe like not have as many like slow parts. I think Dead Island 2 could have honestly been an A tier game, but I think
Wait.
the combat was the worst part about
How
it.
much of this game did you actually play?
Dead Island 2?
Yeah.
I played a good few hours of it.
I don't think I could get through much of it.
No, it's not completely awful. That's why I didn't low C tier.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It's just like the combat is the biggest problem. Oh, and the story. The story's a bit lackluster, but like I think they had a really good idea going. But other than that, yeah, it's a C tier. Omega Strikers is, I'm gonna say B tier.
I put it B tier.
Because the
I'd
one,
say it's like mid B tier.
Yeah.
I played this game a lot more than Anthony.
yeah, I've played it. No, I play it good more.
It's a really fun Dota, right? MOBA's the fun. Yeah, Dota, yeah.
Yeah, I've played a good amount of it, but I can agree.
It's a fun Dota. I really
they have
enjoy it.
They have one big problem.
They have one big problem, and that's the community's full of greasers.
Yeah, greasers, sweaty Fire Emblem players, and yeah, like me, my greasy hair and my 3,000-pound chair, and yeah, and also they put too much fan service in a game about hockey with abilities.
Yeah, if you play Omega Strikers and play it with like a group of friends,
yes,
and just play the main game, it
was
will
good,
be a
really
fun
good
experience.
time.
If you go anything outside the main game, you're having a lot of issues.
Anyway, okay, that's all I really say about Omega Strikers. I do like the abilities though; they add a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun game that you don't have to get. It's not like a really high skill ceiling, so you get into it pretty fast.
You see what's next.
I'd recommend it.
You see what's next. Overwatch 2. Now, if you asked me when Overwatch 2 released, I would have said it's an A tier game. If you asked me partway through, I would have said C tier. If you ask me right now, I would say struggling to stay in C tier.
No, put it high D tier.
High D, yeah, I'll put it high D tier. The problem with Overwatch 2, the biggest problem facing the community.
No, put it in the bottom of C tier. I remember they added Movement Rider.
Oh, I forgot they added Movement Rider. True. The biggest problem is it's just EA being EA, and adding way too many like what's they called in online purchases. Microtransactions.
Like, hey, do you want the new character in this game? Go
pay for them.
Fortnite Battle Pass.
Yeah, go Battle Pass, but you also have to buy the Battle Pass. So yeah.
Yeah. So you don't get the character for free.
I think the one thing, and also them getting rid of the environmental thing. It's okay. Why one?
No, but they released one mission, Anthony. They released one mission.
My one big problem with that. Okay, I will say people were slightly overreacting about that. Because they started calling it like the worst game ever because they got rid of environmental stuff. But
a lot of people were hyped for it.
Yeah, a lot of people are hyped for it. I can get that. Yeah, I can get that. But my biggest problem with that is people were actually generally enjoying the game, and the second you cancel it, they all turned on the game. Like suddenly, just because of that, they started hating the game, even if they were liking it literally 5 minutes before they released that announcement. But other than that, Overwatch, it's a mid game. It's a mid game. Like a bit below mid, but it's not like the microtransactions is what's the big problems. Yeah.
I think the only reason it's still C tier is because it's building on the base of an S tier game.
Yeah, that's true. I do like one tank though. It makes it more balanced. I know some people are mad about that, but I think one tank. Resident Evil 4 Remake is an S tier game. I don't care what anyone. Actually, no one will argue because it's Resident Evil 4. You can't go wrong with Resident Evil games. Except for 6. I played a bit of that and then quit. And I had a friend who completed the game and said it was absolutely trash. But other than that, Resident Evil is an amazing series. I think I actually only started recently playing 4, but I'm almost done with it. That's the what?
That's the guy from Fortnite.
That is the guy from Fortnite, yes. But yeah, no. Resident Evil 4 is a really fun game. It builds upon the foundations that were set by the previous remakes of the over top shooter. They cut a bit of the goofiness, but it's definitely still it both works and doesn't. I would love to keep some of the goofiness, but I still think it's a phenomenal game. It's not my favorite Resident Evil series. That's supposed to be 2, but when I complete the game, it might change because it's getting up there. But I think it's an S tier game. It's just phenomenal. Everything about it was kept so true. The combat is still amazing combat. It's just amazing. Hogwarts Legacy. You didn't play this because your computer and PlayStation would go. Alright.
But I can get it when my monitor comes in.
That is true. That is true. I play on PC, so it's an A tier game. I honestly I did not expect this to be good when they first released it. When they first announced it, then they started adding trail stuff. I'm like, this is gonna be cool. When they actually released the game, I loved it. I can't lie. It has some things. You are very free. However, I feel like I would want a bit more control on some of the stuff I was doing. Like, why can't I harass the random students? Let me do that. Sure, I can send a cat flying, abusing the powers, the spells, but I couldn't send a student flying. They should let me do that. I think if they did that, it would have been like an S tier game for me, just because I felt like they hype. The problem was they hyped it up to be something like that, where literally every little thing you do matters. But then they didn't deliver with that. That was only the really big problem game.
I didn't really say anything about it. I didn't look at it much. All I know is that it's good.
You know, and and some of the quests weren't explained the best was another problem. Like, I literally spent an hour trying to find an animal, just realized the animal only appears at night. And had to go. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
My favorite.
Again, it's not being put in F tier because of some things. I will say, as a game itself, it would still probably be B tier. But because it was originally supposed to be a DLC for Modern Warfare 2, and they said, why not release it? $70. You can transfer all our stuff in. And we have one of the worst campaigns ever created known to man. That is the reason it's D tier. Because if I'm not basing it off the online play, because it's literally just Modern Warfare 2 with a bit of additions. Not even like some of the guns were changed. Actually, no, in fact, it actually got a little worse, the online, because the Modern Warfare 2 guns were overpowered compared to the 3 guns. And then the story was just completely awful. 4 hours. They killed Soap again, but then treated it like nothing. They're like, "Oh no, he's dead." Then move on. That sucked. That sucked. It's a bad game. I'd rather boot up Modern Warfare 2. Well, now I have to boot up Modern Warfare 3, but you know. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing, I don't think they should have shut down their other Modern Warfare games.
They didn't do. No, they didn't. They didn't shut down 2. It's just that. You know, no, the thing is, you have to, if you have 3, you have to have 2 downloaded to play 3, so it literally is a DLC.
It's just, you have to pay $70 for it.
Next is Dead Space Remake. This is an S tier game. Dead Space, I loved the game, the original game Dead Space. That was an amazing game. But they released this remake, and I was also skeptical, because remember, before this year, last year had remakes of games, and they were bad. The remakes of the game last year were pretty bad for a lot of them. So I was skeptical. But not only did they keep the story pretty true, they improved upon it and added giving Isaac a voice was amazing. It worked so well, especially because some of the game was like, why are you're not screaming? Because the scary looking zombie that made me scream at 12 a.m. at night while I was playing scared me, kind of weird. But anyway, it's an amazing game. It's true to Dead Space 1, but just with a bunch of like tweaks, graphical upgrade, and upgrades to the characters. Because he has to talk now.
I haven't really seen much of it. I've only seen like clips because I'm gonna play it soon once I get my computer because I want to. I just can't say anything about it because I've seen like a couple of clips, but I want to remain mostly. I don't know much about it. Or see much about it because I don't know the story of the original Dead Space. All I know that it's good. So.
You know. Okay, next is Spider-Man 2. If you said Spider-Man 2 was a copy of Spider-Man 1, that's how I know you either did not play the game or just played the Sandman mission. Because that means you didn't unlock any abilities or gadgets. The second you unlock those, the combat completely changed. Like, it was way more interactive. The big problem with Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales was too many gadgets. They limited it to 4 in this game, gadgets, and they gave you 4 abilities. So, you can mix and match your gadgets and abilities and don't have to like and it makes it better.
Most of the gadgets in the first game were like the same thing except
Yeah.
slightly different.
Yeah, all these gadgets are pretty unique. Like they're pretty unique. Like one shoots you upwards, one's a concussion blast, which actually works into the story. And the other two were also one was pulled everything towards one object that whoever you shot. They were really unique gadgets. They kept the best of the gadgets from the other games, but then added one more. And then the abilities worked really well. I think I was because one thing about the abilities gadgets worked well is it was a button input and it wasn't like Spider-Man 1 Miles Morales where you had to hold and then change gadgets. That got really annoying in the middle of combat. This allows for much more smooth combat. The combat was improved, not majorly because same style of fighting, but it was improved a good amount with and refined. They added they add unique finishers for really every character. I mean every. Rafe is not even a main character in the story. It's from a side mission that you can completely not do at all, and she still has unique takedowns with characters. Even with Miles, Black Cat have special takedowns. Peter and Agent Venom, Miles and Venom. It's just completely unique for all the different characters. There were only like a few they could cycle in through for like some of the minor characters, but they were still really good. And the story was amazing. There could have been one thing that was improved on. That was mainly because the repercussions of Black Suit weren't like put well enough, and also the last mission, they were not cooking with that final boss fight. I will say. If you want to know, the first half of the boss fight's really good, but then they have you switch to Miles for the second half, and it would have made sense where the boss fight took place if you didn't play as Miles. But other than that, it's an amazing game. I would recommend. And if you said it's copy and paste, you did not play. And you probably paid $70 for Modern Warfare. Okay.
I love $70 for Modern Warfare.
Next is Lies with P. This was another game I played purely through Game Pass. It's an A-tier game. It's a Souls game. It's really, really fun.
It's a Souls game?
It's a Souls-like game. Not like completely.
I had no clue what this
It's not super Souls games like, but it's so semi-Souls like. It's more like a Jedi Survivor. That's one, or Jedi Knight. I really want to play Jedi Survivor, but I couldn't. There were a few games I didn't play this year that they didn't. Baldur's Gate 3 I kind of wanted to play, but I never ended up buying it because I didn't have enough money. I will eventually. I'll see what the hype is about after Game Awards. I wasn't mad that I got Game of the Year. Would I prefer Spider-Man 2 or Resident Evil? Yeah, but I'm fine with that getting it. But yeah. Next, Lies of P. It's a really good game. It's not the best. There are a few combat things that couldn't change. It's like if you told me to rate this would like 90 through 100, and then 8. You know what I mean? So like all these, it's like a good. I actually move it to top of S, bottom of S. It's like an 85 for me, or not 85. Yeah, 85. I think it's a pretty good game. You see what's.
I had zero clue what this game even was. All I know is that the dead stare on the front of the cover makes me laugh sometimes.
It does. So, One Piece Odyssey is an A-tier game.
I love One Piece.
It's got Monkey D. Luffy. It's got the Straw Hats. I actually really like their
the fact that it has the Straw Hat is already enough for it to be a beast.
And the one I think I really love how they didn't make some awful excuse for how you like they didn't just like make it so they just don't have those powers. They just have to unlock them through the game. They just forgot them for no reason. And the game they actually have like an actual reason why you can't use all their powers from the beginning. I really like how it's kind of like both a new and old story mixed together. It's aspects of all the arcs of One Piece, like all the previous arcs, and that mixed with its own original story. And I really love that. The combat was really good. I think having just the Straw Hats, I think limiting it to 3 separate types of characters worked because it was just you could only play as a few characters. It was really good. I thought it was kind of funny that Nami was one of the best characters in the game, and that like Sanji wasn't close. you know. And I think it's just a really good game. And the RPG, I like the also I like how there's close attacks and range attacks that you switch around to get closer or farther from enemies.
That is cool.
Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. I forget its name.
Connections.
Connections, yeah. Boruto Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Okay, this game. If you told me what Naruto game to play for Storm, I would. This is the last Storm game to ever play. It adds a couple new characters, which is nice, and the UI changes for the worse. First of all, the UI looks worse. The characters that are introduced, like the half of them are really awful, and then a few of them. Oh yeah, a few characters are actually game breaking. Like they're the most overpowered. Neji is really one of the best characters in the game for no reason. And one big thing, that's true. One big thing is the online. Okay, Storm players are cowards. Everyone knows this. If they will log off or they will quit the match if they start losing too badly. But people will leave after getting one combo hit on you. But unlike, you would think, oh, you would win, they would lose since they forfeited. No, you both lose and your ranking goes down too. If you're doing ranked, it's abysmal. There's no punishment either if they do that. So, it's an abysmal game. Not even abysmal. It's just like it's pointless to buy. It could have just been Storm 4 DLC, and I would have been happy.
Also, are you gonna talk about the fact that it's the PS2 looks better?
Oh yeah, not PS2, PS3.
Storm 2.
Storm
2 on the PS3 looks better than it.
Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 on the PS2. There's videos comparing Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 on the PS3 to this game. And Storm 2 on the PS3 looks better than this game on the PS5. A lot of the animations are really toned down, too. And also the worst thing is they use AI for some of the voices. Some of the voice actors one voice actor came out saying, I did not say that. The AI pronounces things wrong and will just say things really wrong. It's not a game even worth buying at all. Tokyo Ghostwire. Did you play this?
No.
I
have no clue about it.
Honestly, I didn't know it until I found Game Pass. I started playing it. It's a high C tier game. This game is good, half of it, and the other half is like pretty boring. The biggest problem is in the game. There's like demons and stuff they have to fight, which is really cool actually. I think the story is like a B tier story, and the combat is like BA. But what makes it bad is that in the game you're fused to this other dude, so that's how you get your abilities to fight. But when he unfused from you, you have two. The first mission, you have one option to fight with is a bow. A bow that, sure, it's really broken, like one shots, but you get like no arrows for it throughout the story, and you might actually end up using it before you even get to the part where you have to. So you could literally be soft locked there if you're not good. If you're like really really bad. Well, not soft locked. Not soft lock. You can't like melee with the bow. You can melee still, but the melee will literally do no damage because of their spirits, and you're not. You don't have any spirit powers to fight with hand. But yeah. So if you run out, you have to stealth, and it will be like really, really, like stupidly hard stealth. Another problem is you do get another thing later. You get tags, which actually do improve that slightly, but there's no like real. I'm not doing real damage with these. So yeah. But it's a pretty okay game. Would I play it again? Would I play it again? Maybe if I'm bored. But other than that, I wouldn't be like too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rise of Kong.
That is my favorite.
It's actually I didn't think gaming could be this bad.
Never before have I said I'd rather play a Roblox game.
Never before have I ever thought I would say. Before this game, I thought Golem is the worst game ever made. Never did I ever say I think I'd rather be playing Golem. Until Rise, and that's crazy. Because Golem, there was no game before Golem that would say I'd rather be doing anything else, including I'd rather actually sit in English class, listening to the teacher talk about her divorce than play Rise of Kong.
I love Rise of
Rise of the combat sucks. The graphics are actually abysmal, and my favorite part was somebody figured out there are free Unity assets that look better, so they had to make the game look that bad themselves. And the worst part was the most blasphemous part. It wasn't even the PNG cutscene that was literally a PNG. It was giving a skill tree that did almost nothing. And it's $40.
No, no. The skill tree literally lets you get the move to break a rock and do nothing else, and that one rock was what's stopping you from getting to the next area.
Okay. What I have to say about Rise of Kong, it's $40. Do you know what is $30?
Hi-Fi Rush.
$30. Hi-Fi Rush. Omega Strikers is free. Shin Megami Tensei 3 is $60, but usually it's right now it's $30. Right now it's like permanently $30. $30 for Shin Megami Tensei 5, an amazing game, or you can spend $40 on Rise of Kong. And I think in those $40 are in those $40 are peak for Rise of Kong. Lethal Company.
I'd say it depends on how many friends you have.
Yeah.
I'd put it lowest of A tier. Or high B tier.
Yeah, I haven't played it. He has, but I've seen a lot of gameplay.
I have to say, it is one of the most fun multiplayer. I'd put it a B tier above Omega Strikers.
Okay, yeah, I do see that if you don't have friends.
If you don't have friends, this game sucks. If you have a full party, it's great.
So I'm sorry, Genshin. I'm sorry, Genshin Impact fans. You can't play the game.
I'm sorry, Genshin Impact fans. This game is not for you. It's really fun. It's silly. It takes itself seriously. It's not like really story driven, but it is fun. It's just a fun game, and it doesn't try to make you overstep the fact that you're just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
It's goofy. It's fun. It doesn't try to do more than it should, and the mod support for it is great.
Yeah, just don't play it alone. And I think
don't play it alone, or it sucks.
And I think the update they added for Arachnophobia, where they replaced the spider with the word spider, is really funny. Actually, I'm moving up to A tier for that. You know. Also, no flake to Genshin Impact fans. Well, actually, yes, flake, but both no. The game's good, just too many microtransactions. For same character number 306 with a slightly different animation.
Yeah, I also hate the fact that each character gets one ability in an ultimate. Like, please, this is new at Storm. Except Storm looks cool.
Storm does look cool. Well, I've seen some animations. In one of my classes plays Genshin, and they'll watch videos. Some of the animations look cool. But anyway, City Skyline 2. It's better than it's the highest of D. That's what I'll say. But I don't actually know. It's below Starfield.
I would say that, but also I'd rather play it over Overwatch 2. So.
Yeah, you rather play City Skyline 2 than Overwatch 2?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not trying to play 15 frames per second 2. Or sorry, 15 is generous. 5 frames per second. Sorry. First of all, half the content from City Skylines 1 is missing. Like, it's literally a downgrade, except in graphics, but you can't really enjoy those graphics because you're moving like this. If you see my mouse,
your mouse is teleporting.
Yeah, my mouse is teleporting in that game.
The issue is they made the game look too good and didn't add enough content. And the fact that they make the game look so good held it back even more, because now 90% of computers are chugging.
Well, it's not even like the best looking game. There are better looking games that computer can run, like Resident Evil 4. The problem was it wasn't optimized. It is a good looking game, don't get me wrong, but it's not optimized. It literally had the Forspoken problem, where you had to buy a new piece. Half people had to buy new PCs to play it, and I don't think I would buy a new PC for City Skylines 2.
Or Forspoken.
Yeah, but at least Forspoken was a funny experience. Cause did I just kill a dragon with my freaking mind?
Did I just kill a dragon?
I like. Okay, Kerbal Space Program 2 It's
I
it's
love
this. It literally has all the same problems as City Skylines 2. Like literally the
but
exact
they're
same.
silly. No, put it above City
It,
Skylines.
it has the silly
They're
dudes.
funnier.
It has every single same problem as City Skylines 2. Literally, there is no difference in problems. The only difference is what game type of game it is. I
Also, the silly guys are silly,
that
but they're not as silly as in the first game.
that's true. Persona 5 Tactica's it's a B. Actually, I'll put A tier, below A tier. It's a Persona 5 game, so like you already went right in that direction. The characters are already really good. The combat is actually really good. It's a real it. If you ever play Mario's and Rabbids, I that's the only game I can really that's closest to compare. But with Personas, I think the best thing about Persona 5 games that what isn't the main like Strikers and Tactica both implemented Personas really well into a genre that can get stale if you play it too long, like in a row. But adding Personas really helped. You know, it's the story's nice. The new character is pretty. I think the new character is good. It's an alright game. Any if there are any games that we didn't do here today, either we didn't play them, or they just got released on a certain console this year and they're considered a new game, a 2023 game. So yeah, I think that will be our tier list for this.
Mhm.
We'll see you all later. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you made it to this far in the video, comment. Rise of Kong equals the goat.
It's my favorite game.
Yeah, no,
Favorite game
equals
of all time.
favorite game of all time. Your Rise of Kong, favorite game of all time. See y'all later. Goodbye.
Bye.